So I had a unique opportunity to go to Amsterdam and attend the Sustainable Aviation Futures Congress, held there between the 7th and 9th of June. About 400 people active in the aerospace industry participated in the conference, and Gevo was the platinum sponsor of the event. It was a very cool experience for me, and here are my main takeaways. So how did I get access to this event in the first place? Well, I was invited by Sarah Wilkin, founder and CEO of Fly Green Alliance, an independent European-based boutique consultancy working with sustainability in business travel and sports. And in exchange for my plane ticket and free attendance, I helped her produce communication and video content for her organization. I filmed 2 panel discussions, which she moderated.
Because some clients are not willing to use book and claim until that is figured out.
And we did a dozen of interviews.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them with Lindsay Fitzgerald, Gevo's VP of Government Relations.
How do you make investment based on that? How do you build a plant? How do you have long-term certainty that what you see on paper today is actually going to be in place in 5 years and 10 years?
I also interviewed one of the front figures for Verity tracking, Lucas Savinga, who is the Director of Product Marketing and Tokenization.
So I think Verity is definitely bringing an important added value for all the consumers of Gevo, because it's a way for Gevo to, really prove the sustainability aspects in everything it's doing for sustainable fuel, chemicals, and other products.
So I must say this experience definitely qualifies as my first takeaway. Meeting someone in person deepens the connection. You can say it creates a certain bond. Now I'm not just a random investor running a YouTube channel. They know who I am and I have earned their respect. And I also get to mention that I would love to help Gevo out with marketing and communication work in Europe in the future. We'll see how it plays out. I also met people from Axens and got an interview with one of their business managers. So can you talk about your partnership with Gevo?
Oh yeah. Thank you for that question. Okay, Gevo had a very interesting business model regarding their carbon reduction know-how on ethanol. Okay, and that was really interesting for us, this vision. And they had the know-how on all the American market and the ethanol market.
Gevo is a net zero renewable fuels, chemicals, and nutritional products company. And our first project is in Lake Preston, South Dakota. Before we actually announced that we were breaking ground on that plant, we had more activity in Europe than we did in the United States. Because the main thing for us when we're looking at investments, and we don't have all the money to put in these plants ourselves, so we'll be with partners who are helping us invest. They have to have that security of what is that policy going to be to support that investment that's required to put in place. And it's not just the investment of the sustainable aviation fuel technology, it's the entire investment that's required from a feedstock perspective. It's the entire investment that's required to basically make it a defossilized source of power. We talk about decarbonized. We're still going to make carbon-based fuels, right? So it's always a little bit of a question for us. Do we really call it decarbonized or do we call it defossilized? We're really changing, we're repowering the plant to basically make it an off-the-grid style plant using renewable electricity, renewable natural gas, so we still have carbon components. But it's how do we get that investment? And so the things that we're talking about today and the things that will happen in Europe now, hopefully with some consistency in policy, will help us get back on track with making some extra investments here.
Many interesting panel discussions took place during these couple of days, and my next takeaway is the broad consensus prevailing within the industry. Basically, everyone agrees that SAF will be the cornerstone of the aviation industry's energy transition in order to achieve the net zero target. And the discourse is characterized by a solution-driven way of thinking.
I think it is extremely encouraging to see the entire industry work together, where airlines, suppliers, everyone is working together to ensure that the future of aviation is more sustainable than it is today.
And we are bringing together a number of players mainly from corporate consumers of aviation, but also some airlines. And our objective is to expand the market for SAF.
The major issues to contend with are feedstock supply, how to drive investments, and how to best introduce favorable policies at a global scale. According to Simpliflying, 400 refineries need to be built across Europe and in the US, and this will require investments of more than $500 billion.
While that might sound like a lot of money, this is actually the same amount of money being spent to buy new airplanes by Boeing and Airbus this year. Someone's funding it.
Another important issue is how to measure and report carbon intensity and greenhouse gas emissions throughout the value chain. And frankly, I feel quite pleased that Gevo is already at the forefront in that area.
Yeah, very early Gevo realized that this is a solution that needs to be pushed and developed independently in the market, and obviously there will still be a link, but Verity is happy to get in touch with any other industrial partner and bring the same added value.
Since Gevo was the platinum sponsor of this event, you probably wonder if I think it was money well spent. And yes, I do think so. Many times I have felt frustrated and disappointed because I think Gevo doesn't put enough effort into marketing and branding. And the communication to shareholders isn't always that encouraging. Given the space in which Gevo operates, there's no need to spend money on advertising campaigns or radio and television commercials. Gevo is a business-to-business company, and its potential customers and partners are the same companies that attend events like this. So it's in these type of venues that Gevo can run successful marketing and PR campaigns, network and forge new business relationships. So therefore, I think the SAF Congress was a perfect opportunity for Gevo to flex its muscles and draw some attention, and also to spread awareness about Gevo's innovative way of tackling climate change. With the Gevo logo visible almost all over the premises, other companies and organizations shared their images from the event with the Gevo logo as backdrop. So there you have it. Those were my main takeaways from the SAF Congress in Amsterdam. This was a new experience for me that I really enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I will be back soon with more content. I hope I will be able to release my interviews with Lindsay, Lucas, and Alexander from Axens. But until then, bye-bye.